Those of us who have a familiarity with the scriptures will know that mountains are significant places. There's a reason for this. There's a reason that mountains were often places of encounter between people and God. And the reason is that God was often perceived to be distant, living in the heavens, which were up, which were in the skies. So if you climbed the mountain and got to the top of the mountain, then you would be closer to God and able to communicate with God more easily. Even more so if you got the holy person to climb the mountain, then it was expected that they would be able to not only speak to God, but to listen to God and bring the message back down the mountain for the people, as Moses did when he came down the mountain with the 10 Commandments. Mountains significant in the Old Testament, yes, but also in the New Testament. Think of the Sermon on the Mount. And think also of today's Gospel reading, the Transfiguration. Jesus takes with him Peter and James and John. They climb the mountain. And something remarkable happens there. They realize there in that place that Jesus is not simply another human friend. Something that's quite divine, quite heavenly happens. Jesus is transfigured. He becomes different. They have a very real experience that heaven and earth are meeting in this place. Well, many of us enjoy walking in the countryside and climbing mountains. You get a great perspective when you are up a mountain. You see things in a different way. But in Jesus, God came down the mountain to live among us where we are in our human existence. And there are places in our lives that might feel like the mountaintop experiences where everything falls into right perspective. But I encourage you to see also every moment of prayer that you have as a place where heaven meets earth. Not because Jesus comes into that place, he's already there, the divine is already dwelling with us, but because in that place we wake up to the reality that God is with us. And so today, as we have this wonderful, often misunderstood and often not understood at all gospel reading of the Transfiguration, let's see every moment of prayer that we have, every little conversation with God as a place where heaven meets earth. We're no longer simply living on earth when we pray. We're not fully in heaven yet either. But in that moment of our prayer, heaven and earth come together because we become aware that Jesus is with us. We are not alone. The mountaintop and the God who often encountered people on that mountaintop is with us in the reality of our human experience.